We are now joined by a very special guest. We have Texas tight end Gunnar Helm, number 85 on the field, joining the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel. Gunnar, thanks for joining us. How are things going today?
It's great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And, you've obviously had a very strong start to the season, but we want to go back a little bit, thinking about the year 2020 and your recruiting process. You come from a very strong Colorado high school program up in Cherry Creek. That's a long way from Texas. I've made that drive all the way from Dallas to Breckenridge, basically. So I know it's not close. It's a plane flight. But how'd you end up getting involved and getting interested in the Longhorn football program?
Jeez, there was always something there for me. I remember when I was about 8 years old, I had this obsession with these replica mini helmets, and I kind of collected these. And I think I asked for a Texas one for my, eighth or ninth birthday, and that was a pretty early memory for me. And it was just kind of always in the back of my mind. And in my recruiting process, I had just gotten the big schools, kind of, all the SECs, the Georgias, the Ole Miss, the Alabamas, and sat down with my dad. He was like, is there any school that you could possibly dream of that you don't have yet? And I said, yeah, I've always kind of had a fascination with Texas. There's always been something there, just the rich tradition and the alumni and obviously the academics that Texas holds. So it's always kind of been true to me.
I remember one of the clips that really caught a lot of people's attention in Austin was, I think you hit a drive straight down the fairway and then did a backflip. So do you remember doing that?
Yeah,
And how
no,
much?
that was I think I saw there was another tight end getting recruited, and I saw a video of him doing a backflip. So one Saturday I was at my buddy's house, and a couple of us were just like, "Hey, we should teach each other how to do backflips." So we would all spot each other and brought out all the pillows and everything, and so finally just sent it, and yeah, the rest is history. Posted that on Twitter, and I guess it got some buzz. So
Definitely alerted people to your athleticism without a doubt. But then, you had signed your letter of intent, I believe. And then, Texas wins the Alamo Bowl. You're probably watching that from home. All of a sudden, Tom Herman's let go. Steve Sarkisian's brought in. What was that transition like for you when the coach you had signed up to play for gets let go and a new coach is coming in before you even step foot on campus?
yeah, no, it was scary. I'll never forget. There was someone on their coaching board that they wanted to bring in that didn't really use a tight end, if I can remember correctly. So it was definitely a scary time. But Coach Banks recruited me at Alabama, so I heard the rumors that there was a chance that he would be joining Coach Sark. And I talk about it all the time. I think I fell under a pretty lucky star. Obviously, very blessed to play for Coach Sark and Coach Banks in this NFL style offense. So they said all the time, if you play offense in our kind of system, you'll have a good shot to play in the NFL because it's the same system. So
Did you and Jatavian and Juan, all three of you were in that class. Did y'all talk about that process, or were you just kind of doing things on your own, looking out for your interests at that point?
yeah, honestly, just looking out for myself at that point. I think everyone was trying to get their footing once they got here. So obviously we all established the groups of guys that we would hang out with, but there wasn't really much chemistry the first spring that Juan and I got here. Obviously we were close with each other, but don't hang out as much as we do now for sure.
So going through your career at Texas, you show up. There are guys like Cade Brewer and Jared Wiley and a few others. What were some of the lessons that you learned from those guys, and then even from your classmate and Jatavian, that's allowed you to really thrive right now? I mean, you lead the SEC in receiving yards by a tight end. You've caught 90% of your targets. Like, what are some of the things that you picked up over those 3 seasons that now have you really playing a really complete game?
When I first came in, I think Cade and Jared really took me under their wing. They kind of treated me like the little brother, so I played the little brother role. Got in there when I could on special situations, short yardage stuff with 3 tight ends. So I was exposed pretty early. I played a lot my first 2 games because Jared was down. So, taking an 18-year-old kid from Cherry Creek, Colorado, and throwing him in the fire in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Yeah, from the earliest I can remember, I was in kind of that game mode. And then obviously with the chemistry JT and I had, I took a lot of stuff from his game. He's told me he's taken a lot of stuff from my game, so I think we thrived off each other pretty well.
That trip to Arkansas was a tough one for y'all's program. And then, last week you go to a place where there's 111,000 people who want you to fail, and y'all do the opposite. Y'all succeed. So how much has the program, thinking about you yourself as a freshman in Fayetteville to this senior in Ann Arbor, how much have you and the program grown in your comfort and being able to go to those environments and handle the pressure in the situation?
Well, I think, to be honest, it just shows what Coach Sark has done here with the culture. Um, I don't think that team, you put that team in that environment in Michigan, I think that we completely fail, to be honest with you. We weren't close as a team. We didn't want to play for each other. Everyone was kind of doing their own thing. It took a lot, but, we were able to finally start to play as a team and guys bought in. And I think that as guys bought in, we won the bigger games. Just a year after the Fayetteville game, we almost beat Alabama at home. Then the next year we beat Alabama on the road. Then the next year we beat Michigan on the road and snapped that win streak. So, I think it gives a lot of praise to Coach Sark and what he's been able to do with the culture and just kind of the guys that have bought in and set a new standard for ourselves.
One of the images that has kind of made its way around the internet, I think CBS Sports took it. It's of Michigan, that one tunnel at the Big House, Michigan walking out of their locker room, and Sark, and I think Mo has the speaker, and everybody's just standing there ready. What type of focus does this team have for any game, not just big games, but any type of game?
Yeah, I mean, we prepare the same way for every game. So, we're all bought in. We're completely bought in. We want to win for each other. We've got a lot of guys, great players from other programs that didn't win, so they're as hungry as we are. And honestly, it just goes back to the love. We all love each other. We're all brothers on and off the field. Never felt closer with a group of guys in my whole career, especially in high school. So, we all want it. We're all hungry. We all practice our butts off, and we just trust that Coach Sark and all of our position coaches will put us in the best position to win on Saturday.
One of the obviously you had the first touchdown up in Ann Arbor. Quinn kind of scrambles just a little bit. The middle of the field's open. Can you take us through what you saw on that play and how gratifying it was to, I don't know if you shushed the crowd or asked for noise, but how gratifying that feeling was to get that first touchdown?
Yeah, no, it was great. I remember in warm-ups thinking to myself, I kind of looked down at their student section, and I remember kind of planning out in my head that if I score on that side, I wanted to do something to that student section because they were rowdy and they were loud. So, I saw the middle of the field open up, and we were running kind of a scissors concept. So, I was running they ran like a corner route, and I ran the post, and the middle of the field was wide open. So, it was designed so that Quinn throws the ball right away, and he kind of got flushed up to the front, and Quinn just put a great ball. I just tried to make the play.
Do you look for the student section on the road? Is that something you always do?
Well, I mean, I joke about it all the time. I have 3 touchdowns at Texas. None of them were at home. I mean, the only one that was closest to the one at home, it was in the Cotton Bowl Stadium, and I was going into the OU section. So,
Oh man, I forgot about that one, the Iowa State one, and you're going towards the band on that one, so you're seeing a bunch of red and yellow there, and then right there you're seeing all the maize.
yeah.
One of the cool things that y'all get to do in the tight end room, y'all get to be aligned with the Burnt Ends program over at Surly Horns, and you've been in it since you arrived on campus. So can you explain what that program is and how people can get involved?
Yeah, basically, it's just a crowd-funded source for just the tight ends. We haven't really done a whole lot in the past, but as this year comes along and more people join, we want to do our best to get out into the community more. We want to do more events, more meet and greets, all that stuff. So all the support is welcome, and it's very much appreciated by the tight end room.
What are some of you get to do meet and greets like you mentioned? I think there's even a way to talk online with members of the program. But is there an interaction that stands out to you, whether it's one of those dinners or checking the web? Is there something that stands out in your memory as a highlight or a funny moment when working with Burn Ends?
Yeah, I mean, we do meet and greets all the time. We did one at I think it was either a saloon or something downtown. Just a meet and greet upstairs, just great vibes. On a Saturday in the off season, it was really cool to hear some people's stories and tell our stories. So, that's great experiences for us.
And then I think when it was started, it was kind of a proof of concept thing. It was, I've talked to Rob, who does a great job, and a few other guys, and they said, look, we can do this. We are just guys on the internet who can do this. And so how cool is it that they did that, but they also just decided to support your position group and show, hey, we can help the tight end room. Anybody can help any sport at Texas.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And now our job is to produce on Saturday so it doesn't, just diminish itself. So, we're trying to hold up our end of the bargain on Saturday, and obviously they're doing what they're doing. They're putting great effort into it, and it completely benefits us.
Gunnar, that's about all I've got. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and talk up Longhorn football, the Burn Ends program, and good luck the rest of the season.
I really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.